This is the Artist Entrepreneur Podcast. We are your hosts, Amanda Ritchie, Noah Dock, and me, Kerry Wee. We're three artists brought together by the love of circus and dance. Amanda from the world of Cirque du Soleil as an aerial soloist. Noah, our academic, and me from the commercial dance world. This is one of the greatest jobs in the world, but it comes with uncertainty. Each episode contains insight on how to pursue art-based businesses. We'll have a variety of guests and have lively weekly Discord. Tune in every week to hear our perspectives on the minefield that is the artist's way of life. Mieko and I were lucky enough to meet each other many years ago. So young dancers in our 20s.
Yes.
Right? And we met this genius woman, we met this genius woman, Ketty Jean, who I actually just talked about on the podcast because we just talked about La Fleur de Sance and how that was my first business ever.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was. And then Mieko was a dancer on that show, and it was one of those jobs that you become a family and It changes your life. Mm-hmm. And you remember it always because the piece of art that we were doing was just so extraordinary.
Yeah. I always forgot that we got paid at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, the show itself was just such a genius piece of work. It was just like,
yeah,
even like not super high production, like money, not a lot of money in it, but
yeah,
it was just amazing. And at Mieko, I remember, so she's a dancer, but really what she really wanted to do was be an actress. And so I remember back then, the beginning of your process of auditioning and trying to get where you wanted to be and
right.
And you can tell that story yourself, but I wanted to just introduce you. So introduce yourself to the audience, maybe how they recognize you today, like she's on a TV show right now, and then we'll go back and try to kind of like suss out what people listening can get from the trials and tribulations you went through, and if you have any advice for young artists.
Hello, I'm Mieko Hillman. I am playing Yasmin on a Nickelodeon show called Tyler Perry's Young Dylan. And having so much fun doing it.
What season are you guys in right now?
We just finished shooting our 5th season. So the 5th season is airing right now.
For you as an actress, what I sussed out is the dream was to be a working actress.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, not like stardom would be a bonus, but not necessarily being a household name would be like, wasn't necessarily the goal from what I gathered from you.
Yeah, no, I just love telling stories and I love being different characters. And it's just fun to create with very artistic people, funny people. And I just love it, telling stories.
You've kind of gotten to at least the goal that you had set back when we were in our young 20s. How does it feel now that you're kind of living it? And it's been many years now.
It's very interesting because I think when I was dancing, it was just the goal to just work. I was just happy to get a co-star or a guest star or be, just working. And then, of course, some people want to be series regulars, and that was one of my goals. And it's happening now. And it's interesting because before it was just like, I felt like I was just proving myself. And now it's more about, oh no, I really do want to tell stories. It's not about being a household name or any of that stuff. Like, I just want to spend my life telling stories.
Oh, so we haven't talked about this. Does that mean you want to be on the other side of camera writing or directing? Eventually?
I don't know if that's going to be a route. I'm open to it.
Okay.
I just know I have to tell stories in some form. I think that's why I even love La Fleur de Sance, because I felt like we were telling stories. And that's why I really resonated with the work we were doing, because we had little, little stories, vignettes. That's what Kati would call them. And they were just stories. Like we were characters. And that's what I love about it.
It's so funny to talk about when you didn't do it yet or were at the start, because our perceptions have changed now,
Right.
now that we're older. But if you can go back and talk about that time and what some of the struggles were, like what were the first successes, maybe that convinced you that you were down the right path. Oh no, what's happening?
I remember one of my first auditions. It was for a student film, and I auditioned for just just a small role, and I did pretty good. And then I was called back. And then in the callback, they gave me another part to read. And then this part was supposed to be kind of a mean girl part. And at that time, I read the part as a nice girl. And and I remember the director's face just being so confused as to why I would do that part in such a nice way. And at that time, I remember, oh, I'm going to have to do a lot of self-discovery, because I see that pleasing people or being nice is getting in the way because it's showing up in my acting.
Because it was uncomfortable to be a mean girl in that moment?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, I didn't want someone to not like me. It showed up in my work. So for whatever reason that comes up, it's been an exploration of myself, showing up for myself, and then doing the work so that I can bring on characters.
When you were in your 20s and you were learning about how to be an actress, like how did you deal with the business side of it? How did you learn the business side of it? How did you survive financially?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was hard. That was really hard. Because I was a dancer, I had the opportunity to do dance jobs. And I also did commercial work. And I also did print work at that time. So I just was juggling a lot of jobs all the time. And I would do promotional work, handing out tickets to something, or just these random jobs just to get by and be able to pay for acting classes. So that's what I did.
I mean, I think back and everything I did to hustle.
Yeah.
Like you just put it behind you and you don't think about it too hard, I guess. But in the moment, it's just like, I just got to make the extra $600 this month.
Yeah. You were a hustler. I remember. I was like,
all of us. All of us.
Kerry,
Yeah.
Yeah, we all were.
Yeah, I need to make an extra $600 this month because that's how much I don't have right now, and whatever it takes to get there.
Right. It was month to month, week to week. This bill is due next week. Let me round up some cash and figure out how I'm going to pay this.
To the second question, how did you learn the business side of your business and explain the business side of your business?
I went into acting class right away. And so you get to know other actors, you hear from them who their agents are, you start to know who's who in, with managers and agents. And at that time, I did a lot of mailings, and I would just mail out my headshot with my resumes and just wait to hear, that's how I did it. I actually took a business of acting class as well. And I remember he said, one reason businesses fail is because they don't have enough money. He was like, you guys are actors and this is your business. So you have to find a way to keep yourself going financially for this business. And I remember that always stuck with me. So it was just like, okay, I'm going to do whatever it takes and just keep on keeping on and just stick with class and keep going to auditions and get to know other actors and see what they're doing. And I was pretty fortunate as well. I was really fortunate with agents and managers.
You were dancing a lot too. Like,
I was.
Did you ever get to a point where you felt like dancing took away from your acting? Like your focus? Thinking about your 20s.
Right. I do remember one time I was doing a show and I stopped doing this dance show because I was like, I really have to concentrate on acting because I wasn't in acting class anymore. And I just wasn't in the world of acting. And I remember that. And I even remember when we were dancing in the Florida Sans, when I decided that I had to step away and act. And I had to do that because it was too hard to balance both of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of dancers who wish they could just be a dancer like you. And you're like, but wait, actually, I just want to be an actress. Which has a lot more longevity. Let's talk about that too. Like acting, now not everybody makes it until they're to their 80s on TV shows and movies, but it is possible.
It is possible.
A lot longer shelf life.
It's interesting because, when I first started out in my 20s, I would definitely get different roles, like I'm like kissing on everyone. Or like I get called in now. Like now I'm getting called in as a mother or a judge or, a lawyer. So it's a lot different. So as you get older, the roles start changing. So you have to have a little more gravitas, when you're older, and you have to mature as a human being to play those roles. I met a woman who told me that she struggled so much in her 20s, 30s, 40s. And this is an actress who had been working as a soap actress for a long time, and she was struggling. And she's now in her 70s. And she told me that she's working more in her 70s than she's ever worked in her entire life. And I was just blown away by that. I was also inspired by that because, wow, it can happen.
Okay, so on this podcast, we talk a lot about perseverance because as an artist, do you think, Mieko, that perseverance was in you already? Or do you feel like this process is like training ground for perseverance? Do you think you had it already, or do you feel like every step you built your strength?
Good. Great question. I think I had it in me since a little kid. And I say this because as a little kid, I did dance competitions. And so my weekends were filled with dance competitions while everyone else was, playing outside or doing, what you do as a kid. I just kept going. There was no end to it. And I just kept going. And I was very fortunate to have parents who were all about making me practice and showing up. Like they always showed up at everything I did. And so I think I learned it from them because they never gave up. So I never gave up on myself. I think that was instilled in me by them just every single day taking me to dance class without any complaints.
Like there's no question. You're not quitting for not a good reason.
It never even came to my mind to ever even think about quitting. Like I had so much joy in it. That never came to, like, I never thought about quitting. Now, like, for instance, I used to play the violin and I quit that. But I think I quit that just because when I went to high school, we didn't have violins in my high school. So that just kind of went by the wayside.
Why are we so Asian together? I played violin too.
You did?
Yeah. But my parents put me in lessons at 3. I don't know what they were thinking. They thought I was going to be, they thought I was going to be a prodigy. Oh my God.
Prodigy.
They thought I was going to be a prodigy and I was not.
That's so adorable.
Not with that.
At 3, that's so you were doing dance and
No,
violin?
I didn't start dance till I was around 5, but I think about my kid and how old she was when she was 3.
Okay.
I mean, to put like a violin in a kid's hand, that thing is expensive too. I'm like, I'm lucky I didn't break it.
You know, I marvel at their perseverance because,
Yes.
my dad was in the Navy. It wasn't like he was killing it financially. He had 4 kids,
Yeah.
but yet
Yeah.
I found myself in dance class every single day. And dance class is
Yeah.
expensive.
Absolutely. Gymnastics exist. I'm paying for it right now. I'm like, oh my God, they're just sucking it out of me, sucking me dry. I seem to remember sometime in your dance career that I was seeing you, on a regular basis. And I don't know if it was something that you said and the next day that idea went away, but something about what am I even doing? Like, was there a point in your acting career where you're like, should I just toss in the towel? Was there?
Yeah. Yes.
Was it a one-time event or was it like all the time and then it was something that you put to bed every time you went to sleep? Like,
Oh my gosh. When I used to audition, I would put so much pressure on myself to book it. Like I literally put so much pressure. Like basically, if I wasn't booking, I felt like I was the biggest loser. Like I was just like, what is wrong with you? Get it together, Mieko. Like I would cry myself to sleep after auditions if I didn't feel like I did well. Brutal to myself. Like if I could go back in the past, I would be so much more kinder to myself because now that I'm in the industry, I know how hard it is. And it's not smart to think that you're going to get every audition. That's you're setting up yourself up for failure. And I would have auditions where casting directors were just quite not nice. Or I would have a situation where the room was very unkind and it wasn't a very safe environment. And I remember one time that happened and I literally cried the whole weekend. Not because I didn't do well, but because the room was so severe.
yeah.
Yeah, that broke me for a time and I didn't know if I could go back anymore. But for whatever reason, I just kept going. I don't know why I kept going, but I did. And then I do remember this time that it was a commercial audition and it was a callback and the room was so, have you ever been in a room where everyone in the room feels like they're walking on eggshells?
Yeah. Are you talking about the people behind the table?
Yes. So this was a callback for a commercial audition. So it would be like the ad agency, the director, the casting director, the assistant, the cameraman there. And it's two of us because we were at the callback and they were trying to match people. And the director was just so controlling that the room felt like you had to walk on eggshells to just be in that room. Or you would disturb the giant kind of thing.
Like you would poke the bear. Who else? Who was in there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I remember just doing a take, and he just was so curt and so awful. And I remember I walked out of that room, and I was like, "F this shit." Like, I don't need this in my life. Like, I don't need that kind of energy in my life, and I don't want it. And I literally decided to quit that day. If this is what I have to deal with to be in this industry, I don't want it. I love myself more than have to deal with that kind of stuff. So fast forward, at that time, I had auditioned for young Dylan. At this time, I was like, I'm done. But I got the call back and I was like, ugh, all right, I'll just do it, not thinking of anything.
So literally this happened, I mean, all these years, right? And that moment happened exactly the moment before you got the biggest job of your life, actually.
Yeah. And I was dead serious. I was done. And I was just like, all right, I'll just go to this callback. It was for Tyler Perry. This is before COVID, actually right before COVID. And it was in a big conference room and he was auditioning, I think, for 2 different shows. So there was all kinds of like actors. There were like all generations. It was like grandmothers, kids, husband type, mother type, all generations and everything. It was so organized. And they had like, because it was in a hotel and in a ballroom, and they had like cookies and like tea and coffee out for us to drink while we're waiting. And this I've never experienced ever
Yeah,
at an
an
audition.
actor being taken care of. Never, ever, ever.
Exactly. Like I went to a callback for an audition. I literally sat on the floor. That's
Right.
how, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this was so different. I literally teared up during the audition, and I was like, okay. I mean, not during the audition, but while I was in the waiting room, because the care that I felt. And I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And like I teared up and I was like, okay, Mieko, get it together. This is a comedy. And then I walked into the room and Tyler was there, and some of the other executives were there, and they just had big, warm smiles. And it just felt so warm. It just felt like so much love. Like, we are happy you're here. And I did it and I felt great. And I just didn't think anything of it. And I was just like, I'm just gonna like be in the moment. And then, yeah. And then I got the call that I got the job. So I'm back into acting again.
It's funny. I think with acting and with auditioning period, there might not be a more like emotionally risky thing to do over and over and over. I feel like it is the most emotionally risky thing I can think of.
Yeah. To be honest, though, I have to say, Kerry, that dance auditions are even worse.
Okay, explain that. Tell me why you think that.
Well, because first of all, we learned the choreography right then and there. And you know me, I was not the best with picking up choreography quick. So dance auditions were really hard for me. And then we're auditioning in front of each other, battling it out in a room. And just, you got some fierce dancers in there, and it's a little intimidating, So I feel like dance auditions were even tougher in a way.
I think it depends on what you feel like you strive at, because me being alone in a room, trying to remember lines, that scared the crap out of me. And I had to do it for commercials, right? Oh. And I didn't love doing it. And also I think that I didn't end up building the confidence towards it, because generally when it comes to like commercial 30-second ads, 60-second ads, like I didn't really strive at getting those jobs. I got the stage jobs. I got the music videos. So after a while, your confidence grows in the thing that you're booking.
Right.
Right. But at the beginning, when you don't have that success rate on anything yet, I 100% feel like the boot camp of auditioning that I did for those years, there's not a lot that scares me anymore when it comes to that type of thing, like walking into a room and doing something.
Yeah.
I don't get scared the way other adults might who have never had that boot camp. I can only use that word boot camp because it's just like, if you fail on one day, you still go back the next and you try again.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, dance auditions were brutal.
I mean, all of it was brutal. And then you'd have to go in and just like makeup on again, energy good again. You'd have to like reset yourself in a way.
Yeah.
That is so, I mean, I think back and I'm like, I don't know if I could have done something more difficult in my 20s.
I know. We're already a ball of mess.
Insecure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, to do something over and over. But you know what? Number one, I recognize how lucky we were. Well, I'm talking about the dance industry back then. There were a lot fewer of us, and there were maybe the same amount of jobs as there are now, but just less dancers. I don't know the numbers, but I would say.
Oh, are there more dancers now?
Well, it's hard to say because I think that there's a lot less people. Everyone has to have a side hustle. You have to be working at Starbucks. You have to be, there's no way you cannot survive. So I don't know how many people are in it to win it like that with like 100% focus. I mean, I'm sure you're still this way because you're still a working actress. I was on call for 20 years of my life. Like if I had a trip planned with my parents or family, canceled. If I anything. And that's, of course, when things would come up, when you had something planned.
Of course. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm going on vacation. Guess what? You got a call back.
Yeah. And so, where's your priority? And over time, making it the priority would mean that you would get stuff. But however many things in your life you'd have to miss to make sure you're there for every single opportunity. Here's a question. Would you tell a young person, you as a young person, to join this industry today? I know. Because it's a really complicated question today.
Yeah, it's really tough. I don't even know how people do it now. See, I just love it. Like, I just love
I know, that's the hard part, right? It's like you got to send a young person into the fire to find out how much they want to do it. I mean, I think that's the answer I always give because I'm just like, go sink or swim. And if you swim, great. But if you sink, get out and then do something, try to figure out what that thing is, because I would hate to tell a young person to do it and then miss out on another opportunity they could be doing if it's really what's for them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would say if someone has this burning desire to do it, and because that's how I was, like, I didn't have a plan B. There was I was just like, I'm going to be an actress. What are you talking about? So there was no plan B. So if someone had a burning desire, what I would say is, like, if they wanted to be an actor, I would say find an actor community or like an acting class that is safe. And that sounds weird, but I think you do need a community of actors or people going through it, and a community where you can just act and there's no expectations. You can just do the craft. And like, for instance, I just joined this Shakespeare group, which is kind of crazy because I would have never, ever, 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 ever thought I would be interested in Shakespeare. But I do capoeira, which is martial.
Oh, you do? How long have you been practicing that?
Oh my gosh, probably for two and a half years, or maybe a little longer than that.
Okay, so not a long time.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But I love it because I needed something I needed a place where I could work out, but I'm not at the gym, because I need something that's artistic.
Yes.
And I can work out. But I didn't want to go to dance. I just kind of fell off of going to dance classes for whatever reason. And this is now my workout, and I love it. I love it. And capoeira is so amazing because there's dancing, there's martial arts, there's singing, there's playing instruments. I mean, there's so much. You will always be learning something. So I love that about capoeira. So I do it with capoeira batuque, and the mestre is Mestre Amin. Amen. And he was the guy that did capoeira with Mark Dacacos on Only the Strong, and it's a capoeira movie, and they did this when they were in their 20s, and and it's so amazing. But he's very invested in the arts as well, so I'm part of their Mark is leading a Shakespeare group. I just joined that, and when I say kind people, I mean, they are some of the kindest people, and they both do their masters at martial arts, but yet they have the softest, most beautiful, expansive heart. And so we meet doing Shakespeare. It's so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling. So I would say, if you're going to be out here, find a group or a community where you can do your art with kind people and consistently, so that your heart is full all the time. And it is not only about auditioning or doing jobs.
It's definitely, no matter how you cut it, even at what time did you start, a hard thing. Do you feel like it is harder now than it used to be, or no? Like, how has your industry changed? Because I don't know very much about the acting side, actually.
Well, right now it's like, I talked to my manager who's been managing for 30 years. He said it's the slowest he's ever seen it in his 30 years of being a manager.
Oh, wow. Is that because of the strikes plus the way producers are making things?
I don't know what is going on, because I'm like, don't they need content? I don't understand. There's always this pressure for more content, but why aren't they making it? I honestly don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they really think they're just going to trade us in for AI. I don't know what's happening, but it is slower than it's ever been. It is really difficult this time. I think there's so much uncertainty in the industry right now. Because of that, I would say it's harder than it's ever been.
And you don't feel it as much because you're on a show and you're not on.
Oh, no, I feel it.
Oh, do you?
Yes. Even though on a show, like, usually I would get auditions for other things, like guest stars or
recurs. And you have time.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's happening right now. So I'm feeling it. Trust me, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, because let me just get a feel for your schedule. So you shoot a season in a couple months, but the rest of the year, you're a free agent, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, so you do feel it then.
Oh, feel it big time. Yeah, that's why this community is so important to me. And it's fueling my soul right now.
Yeah, I didn't know you were into capoeira. It totally makes sense because for me, it's like, I mean, I do aerial for a lot of reasons, but that is 100% one of the biggest ones because I cannot go into the gym and do lifting. I can't do it. Like, I wouldn't have any motivation to do it. A lot of people are motivated by muscle building. I am not.
Me either. Remember when I said for your class, I was like, I would continue aerial, but my shoulders are getting big.
I know. I do remember you saying that. I laughed at you a lot about that. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. You didn't want your arms to get all buffed up.
Remember when we first started?
Oh, yeah.
Aerial?
Yeah.
And we all noticed, first of all, our hands were getting so strong, and then our backs were growing like that V kind of shape. And I was like, I don't know if I want to buy new clothes. I don't know.
No, it's really fun watching each other grow up, It
is.
And to have the type of friendship where it's like you can talk every day or you go a year and a half without talking and then you pick up right away. It's no big deal.
Yeah. That's what I love about our group.
Yes.
Because we still get together and we're so excited about each other's successes and what's going on with each other. And it's nice. It's cool to see everyone's different paths. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of path, ideal life, you would continue to be on screen for until when?
Until I can, and until I keep having interesting stories to tell. I want to do it as long as I can. I love it.
Yeah. It's amazing. And what advice would you give to people out there when it comes to how to survive and then thrive?
What came to mind is meditate.
Meditate, yes. Mieko is a Buddhist, and it's a huge part of her practice.
And I meditate now, and mental health is so important. That's one thing I don't think I had in my 20s.
Oh, none of us had it.
Yeah.
We did not. It was also not the era that people were talking about it.
True. I think that's just so important. And realizing that relationships are important. Being kind to people. It's interesting. So there's a woman named Laura House, and she writes for our show. And it's really cool because we were in acting class together 20 years ago.
Wow. And did she
Yes.
did she think she was going to go into writing?
I think she was writing at the time because I remember she booked a big gig during the time we were in class. She's amazing. She's an amazing comedian and great writer. She scripts are most of the time my favorite, in the show. And I just remember just being like, wow, had we been ill to each other, it would have been awkward.
Yeah, so be nice to people you don't know who you're going to work with.
And it's not just be nice to them because you might work with them one day, but just
be
kind
nice
to people.
Yeah, just be kind.
We're all in this together.
There's a particular dancer I have in mind that his brand was being a complete ass.
Ugh.
Like that was his personality type, and it got him actually kind of far. I feel like there's actors that are like that too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like they mean to go in there like that. They're like, I'm known this way. Yeah. It's getting me jobs.
Ugh. It's not fun to work with.
No, and it's also like pretty like short-lived because the person I'm thinking about, super talented.
Now, is that person still working?
I mean, I guess, but like you can tell it's just like people are over that shit. They're over it. They're like, why do I need to be putting up with this?
Yeah, because it's annoying. Because it's like you're spending hours on set. Hours. Like, why would anyone want to deal with that all day? It's not fun.
I have to say that, like, in my dance career, it's the only time I really felt like I really had to keep up with the Joneses so much.
Really?
It's so different than now in my business because I don't really feel like I'm competing against anyone but myself. Do you think that's maturity? Or do you think... I think it's a little bit of both, honestly. The dance industry it's pretty harsh. Dancers
are so cool in the way they dress and how they fashion, and they're very expressive that way. I never felt like I had to keep up with the Joneses. I kind of was not that cool.
Even in your dance, even your career, acting career, you never felt that way?
No.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, maybe because I'm not walking the carpets at this moment. Maybe if I walked carpets, maybe I would feel that. But I am more into being on set and working than hanging out, going to network events.
I mean, honestly, I can say two things. I was very successful at that networking in my dance career, and I was in it.
Awesome. You were awesome.
But I think that equates to me feeling like I have to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I'm saying? I think those two things might go hand in hand. Maybe if I was somehow able to isolate myself in a way, but I wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just didn't really care about hanging out and being so cool. I would rather be home and reading than being cool at a party. I don't know. I'm just not that cool.
I mean, you were cool, but you weren't trying to be cool. You weren't trying to be cool in those circles.
I'm a big nerd, and finally I have embraced that, and I'm okay with that.
Well, I was just talking about in the episode that I just did with, the co-hosts of this podcast, that let's talk about this for a second. I've never considered myself, I basically said that Cathy Jean, we were partners, and I consider, what I considered at the time, and maybe even now, is that she's a pure artist. And I don't put myself in that category. Because pure to me means that you live and breathe and swim in that space. Like the genius is kind of like in a space that I don't really live in. I more put myself in the space of like, I do the art, but I'm also, it's like 50% of my pie. And then my co-host kind of, what's the word? They challenged me on that idea. Because they're like, I don't know if I agree with that. But that's what I thought at the time, in my 20s when I was working with her so much.
You didn't think you were business savvy in your 20s?
No, I didn't feel like the artistry of her, the artistry of like a Terry Beeman, the artistry of a person like that, they're in a stratosphere of like swimming in their art that I'm not.
I understand.
Tell me about those thoughts, because it's kind of the way I looked at it back then. I'm like, maybe I need to shift my perspective on this. I don't know.
No, I understand. I totally know what you mean because like Katie and Terry Beeman, they are on another stratosphere.
They're in a different
But
stratosphere for me. Yeah.
they are. I mean, just from most people, I mean, their brains are like they're just pure creatives. Like for them, it's so great for them to partner up with someone that is business savvy so that they can do what they do best, which is creating.
Do you feel like if you have a pie of yourself,
Uh-huh.
how much of that is the RT part?
I would say I want to say 60-40, but I want to be more of an artist.
I don't even think I hit 60-40 anymore. And a lot of it is being a mom because I just don't have the time.
Right.
I feel like at this era of my life, I'm way low on the art. And I still love it. And it is the seed of my entire business. But then the business side stuff takes over where I'm doing so much of that. But you're on set. So you get to when you're on set, you get to be the actress. You're not trying to do all the other stuff, are you, during that time?
Oh, when I'm on set, it's just I don't even talk to anyone. I don't talk to family. I don't talk to friends. It's so intense.
Right. You want to be in it completely, right?
Pure artist then. Yes. I am just pure art at that time. I'd like to be more of that more of the year.
And how for you in your life would you pull that off?
For me, like I have these dreams of like going to London, taking classes there, and going to France, taking class there, Italy, and I bring these specific places up just because I've seen advertisements for courses there with teachers that I love.
Right.
So for me, it would be a dream to just just spend some years just doing that and of course working and then doing a play, or gosh, that would be so fulfilling.
And do you feel like some people who are on a TV set, for a Hollywood set, wouldn't necessarily put it in the same category as working on the play? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. Yeah. It's very different, but as I'm maturing, I am finding so much more appreciation for theater, and I'm finding appreciation for the work ethic of theater actors. And I have so much respect for their work, and so I want to kind of start all over with my work through theater or working with teachers who really know theater. And
I really hope to be more immersed in the art side of my life later in my life when Bean is in school.
Yeah.
Because every mom that I know between 1 and 5, 1 and 6, it's just it's a little shelved, to be honest, unless they have just so much money to
right.
have support, or they have their parents in town, which would be life changing.
It's hard to be a female and an artist and a mother, and I know that was something I really looked into because I was just like, what do I want to do? And I know I wanted to do this path, so I chose not to kind of be a mother,
Yep.
But that's just for me. I also didn't have that yearning to be a mother.
Yeah, and you were very clear about it through your 20s, all the time. You're very clear that's your path. Oh my God, I could talk about this stuff with you for
this is so fun.
Ages. I have to think about this idea of what I consider somebody like a true artist or a pure artist versus me.
I think you're an artist, pure artist, because, well, I don't... Pure artist, what does that mean?
I know, but the way I defined it is, I defined it in the last conversation as in the person that doesn't have Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? They literally are in the mountains somewhere making art.
Totally know what you mean. And for them, any kind of business thing would send them
off a cliff. Yeah.
Yes.
Or just they'd just rather not do it.
Exactly.
To the point where some of those artists don't even care what the audience thinks of their art, which I think is like incredibly confident too.
Yes.
Because I usually care what people think. Although, I still care, you know?
Yeah.
I still care about what people think, but not like, I don't think it like devalues me, but I do want them to enjoy my art.
Right.
And my conversations even, like this is a form of being able to...
Your art.
Yeah, a form of being able to put together something that is engaging, that people get something from.
You are a mother, yet you're still doing your art. You're still doing Ariel. You're doing this podcast. Like you never stopped.
This is true. I need to think about this.
A lot of people do stop.
Yeah. And I don't feel like stopping. I even want to go farther as long as it's this more like this version of it that has shifted to fit who I am today. You know, as you were saying before, you kind of fell out of dancing. I never thought I would like get uninterested in dancing, but I kind of am. Like,
oh, you're uninterested in dancing?
I'm not really interested right now. I could get back into it.
Right.
But there's this studio here that's awesome. It's called Circle SA, and I went and met them. And after that, like, it didn't like relight a fire in me to like start choreographing and go teach classes. Like I thought it might happen. And I still have the skill set, but I was like, oh, so this is what it feels like to feel this way. Because I never thought I was going to feel that way. Like I was like, I am on this earth to dance. Maybe for 24 years. Maybe that was the lifespan of that. You know, I don't know. I have a lot of thinking to do, but I like doing the podcast because it really does, because it being the center of the subject matter, it like brings up some serious questions that I'm like, oh my God, I need to reevaluate who I am in that way.
I think we'll always have the dancer in us, in our movements, in the way we think, in our discipline. It's always going to come up.
It's always going to come up. Did I ever think I'd be kind of disinterested in actually doing the thing? No, but it's because I'm doing a version of it. It's just, you know, kind of like, you know, a different version of it. And you're performing, we're just performing in different ways.
That's true. You are still doing it.
Yeah, it just happens to be in the air and less difficult on my joints. Dance is really, really painful sometimes.
Oh my gosh, I went to a dance class and I was like, why are we doing this? This hurts. Why are we doing this to our body? And I think that's why I stopped. And it's so funny that I go into martial arts.
Well, is it a little less painful in your body, the capoeira?
Yeah, it's painful, but not like, you know how we used to just like slam down into splits or do crazy stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and head roll and heels, and then you're dancing on concrete and you don't care.
Exactly. Like, I don't do that in capoeira. No. But I think with maturity, I am a lot more careful with my body. Where in my 20s, I could care less. Like I was doing crazy stuff. I would like hit my thigh if it wasn't working. Like what the hell?
Your body is your money, girl. You can't do that. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find Amanda Ritchie at Grounded in Flight on Instagram and at Noah Doc on Instagram, as well as Red Flags app. And me, Kerry Wee, you can find at wrapyourheadaroundsilks.com. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. We have so much more coming at you, including guests that are in this art world, that are blazing their way through new businesses, and, you know, just more banter from us. Thank you for listening. This is The Artist Entrepreneur.